Ja, hi, hier ist Tom von German Rhymes Day. Heute sitze ich hier mit Cymarshall Law. Cymarshall Law, how you doing, my man?
Peace, I'm doing excellent. I'm doing excellent. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. It's been like a slow going day today, but you just got in yesterday, right?
I did and just woke up about an hour ago, but I'm here and I love to be here.
That's nice to hear. So how was the first couple shows?
I did 2 shows in Austria last week and they were jam-packed, but in Austria everyone's been telling me, yo, you gotta come to Berlin, and now I'm here, so you know what I'm saying? Tonight is the night.
All right, so how does it feel to be in Berlin? How did people in Berlin like kind of treat you?
Well, when I first got here, my very first thought was, you ever hear that song by Mos Def and Quali? I think it's called Respiration, and they say, Escuchida, Leshida, Respirando, and it means the city is breathing. So my very first thought when I got to Germany was, the city is breathing. I can still feel it now. It reminds me a lot of Brooklyn, actually, where we're at. So, yeah.
All right, so how's that influence? Like, is that an influence for you now? Would you like write songs about Berlin, or?
I don't know about write songs about Berlin, but I got here and I was jet lagged, tired, and my homie, you ever heard of Mr. Green from Pace One and Mr. Green?
Yeah.
He sent me a beat, feature for his next album, and I was so tired, but the verse came out so quickly. As soon as I got here, I wrote the verse. So I think it has a lot to do with Germany and the feeling I have right now. So yeah.
So you earlier said you fall in love kind of a little bit with the city, but how bad do you plan to get injured?
Say that again. How bad what?
How bad do you plan to get injured?
I don't know, man. I mean, hopefully I don't fall in love too fast, but I've been to a lot of cities in Europe, and this one is quickly stealing my heart. I don't know why it's happening so fast, but I like it a lot.
So it's definitely come back.
Definitely.
Good to hear. Yeah, the cover. You look like a superhero, or like even like a quarterback going through through some linebackers. I don't know.
Right.
What was that?
You know what? I have a YouTube account, and this one guy was always posting on my accounts, and I saw he was from France. So one day we got to talking, and he told me he was actually an artist. So I was like, all right, let me see your work. And when I went to his webpage, I was like, wow, he did drawings like you saw on the cover. So I actually was going to France in like 2 months after I had met him, and we met up in France, and you know we clicked, and he did the cover. This guy, shout out to Benoit from France, did the cover.
So how did the idea come around? Did you like lead him to this, or?
I'm very much into comic books and superhero-ness, so
So it is a superhero.
yeah.
Did you design a superhero like with your ideas, or did he just?
He took I guess. I don't know if he looked at certain pictures of me or just looked at me and drew it, but that came from his mind. But the album is called Freedom Express Line, and that's why there's a train on it, and it's called Freedom Express Line. I'm sure you have express trains in Germany, right? The ones that go super fast. Well, all the beats on this album, I asked the producers, the beatniks from Sweden, to make them go over 100 BPMs, so that all the beats are going fast, so like an express train. And my label is called Freedom, so it's Freedom Express Line and expressing myself. So it's also, all the samples on the album I took from my father's old Jamaican record collection. That's why the colors on the cover of the album are red, gold, and green. So it's like a Jamaican-infused hip-hop album going super fast. So it's like a Freedom Express train.
But when I think about Jamaica, it comes to sounds like smoking weed, being slow.
We're not all like that. There's a lot of people in Jamaica who can smoke weed and do everything. You know, everyone's different. You know, like myself, I can smoke weed and do everything that someone else might smoke weed and not be able to do anything, but I could smoke and still do my job. So it all depends on the person, I think.
So you got the good genes.
I do.
All right. So it's all over 100 BPMs. How's that rapping wise? I mean, like, is it a challenge? Like doing every trick like that?
You gotta have a sharp flow. You gotta know what you're doing.
All right.
No, I'm playing around, but it is a bit complicated. But as long as you have some type of rhythm, it's just like dancing. All you have to do is ride the rhythm.
Yeah, but when you write it, like, do you have like you can't use basically long words, or is that?
I have. You have to know what you're doing. You can. It's possible. It's a very meaningful album. I say a lot on the album with it still going fast. So like you're gonna have to listen, but I'm saying a lot within, you know.
So I have to listen to it like a couple more times. So you understand the whole thing, or is that like that, or?
I don't know. It's really fun to listen to. I don't think I've made it so old people, and matter of fact, I didn't curse at all on the album, and this is my first time I did that because my mother is always like if I play her some of my music, as soon as I say motherfucker, she's pressing eject, and that really hurts my heart because I always told her, when you curse, sometimes people curse in a good way and it expresses emotion. It's not always negative. Like when I say I fucking love hip hop, it's just coming from my heart, and I'm like, you shouldn't, like, she's just like eject, curse, whatever, any profanity, eject. So I made this album purposely so old people and young people could vibe to it, and it's like, without shooting for it, I made an album that you can dance to with a message, and I think that's extremely rare in hip hop. Music with a message that you can dance to. People are always like, I don't like hip hop music that you can dance to, and a lot of people I think forget that at the end of the day it's music. It's music. You were meant to dance to music. So I think within that album, because the beats are going so fast, I did an excellent job of making music with a message that you can dance to without aiming for it. I think when you aim for things, that's kind of, I just
happened.
Right, exactly. Freedom Express line, August 31st.
So you were talking about dancing. So are you dancing yourself?
Yeah, man. I'm
doing the
I was born on the same day as Michael Jackson. I got to be able to dance.
All right. Can you do the moonwalk?
No, but I can do a windmill with no hands.
I think there's not enough space, but I actually want to see that because Devin the dude braked for us.
There's not enough space.
Okay. On the new album, there's a track called "Don't Kill Your Brother," even with your brother on it.
Right.
What's about it?
It's when I say brother, I mean everyone's your brother at the essence of it. But it's just like people will backstab, pull crabs down in the barrel, and it's just about not shitting on your fellow man. That's all. Because we see that every day in life. Like, one person getting higher and other people saying, "Oh man, I want to be that high," so they try to pull that person down, and it's just like, don't kill your brother, homie. Well, what the fuck you doing?
Right. I was thinking about, it was like more a family issue. You and your brother, like when you were younger, maybe you were talking about like a funny situation you had. Like, is there something like that, or you're peacefully living together?
All the songs on the album, I took the sample that the song came from. I named the song the same thing as the sample, and that song was called "Don't Kill Your Brother."
Oh, all right.
So I just thought it was right to put my brother on it. So
that's good to know. But is there a situation you had like with your brother, like when you were growing up, like bad vibes, you hated your guts, or?
Listen, we used to share the same room for 16 years before he moved out, and we only got to be friends because one day we used to fight all the time. Like, he used to pick on me like a big brother does.
Yeah, I know.
And one day, he was always into hip hop before me, and one day he came home and he saw a cassette tape of a group named Cellar Dwellers on my bed. You ever heard of them? And he was shocked because he didn't even know I listened to music, and that was one of his favorites. So when he saw it, I think it was their second single cassette for their first album. So, and he had the first single, and when he came home and saw the second, he was like, "Where did this come from?" And I was like, "I bought it, it's mine." And ever since that day, we've clicked because he had no idea I liked music. And Cellar Dwellers back then is kind of underground, and I was probably like 14, 15, 13 years old. So, and he's 7 years older than me. So for him to come home and be like, my little brother that I used to pick on is listening to the exact same time, my favorite, like, that's when we really looked like we must be really brothers. Like, so since then, we've been getting along. And then in 2000, he started Ever Living Sound before me. In 2000, he pulled me into Ever Living Sound. So we've been rolling together ever since.
Let's talk about a different topic. You were born in England.
Right.
And, of course, where's the accent? What happened?
I've been telling people this since I got here. When I moved to New Jersey, when I was born in England, but I moved to America when I was 8 years old, no one could understand me. Teachers, friends, they all used to say, you need to slow down your speaking so we could understand. And when I go back to America, they would be like, when I go back to England, they would be like, you don't sound like an American. And in America, they say you don't sound like an English person. So I just had to learn how to speak in a way so people understand me. So when I talk, I really don't have any type of accent. I just learn to speak in a way so that people can understand me.
So do you still can you still do the British accent, or all like the British?
I can do it a little bit, you know what I mean?
all right.
Everything.
How's that being like out there in the States, like received by so many people? Is that a big step for you?
I feel like a rock star.
Like a rock star. All right.
No, I mean, I'm joking. I like to joke a lot, but
Yeah, it's all good.
sometimes I really do feel like a rock star. Like where I'm at right now, where I was at in Austria last week, looking at the Austrian Alps, I was looking out the window and like just thinking, damn, my good friends, they'll probably never ever do anything like this, and it's because my craft, my writing, is taking me all over the world. So it's definitely a crazy feeling. Like my life is going so fast right now, so I'm just trying to make sure I don't put so much on my plate that things start to fall off the end of the plate. But it's definitely a hell of an experience, and I'm loving every minute of it.
So what do you do to balance this stress out, basically, or this lot of work?
Smoke weed and drink German beer.
What's your favorite German beer?
I'm fucking around. I don't know. You tell me, what's a good German beer? I was just in Austria, and the Austrians were like, I was like, I want to go to Germany to drink beer. And they're like, but you're in Austria, you should drink our beer. So I was like, who have better beer? And they're like, Austria does. So is that true, or, you know?
Yeah, I can't tell you because I actually don't drink beer or alcohol at all. So.
Oh, no? Well,
here's one tip. Every German beer is better than every
beer in the world.
I knew that from day one. I don't see how it couldn't. They told me somewhere here, maybe Bavaria, it's like a law. You have to have like water, bread, and beer. Is that true? That's crazy.
Basically like that.
If they live in it like that. I mean, beer in America, I don't even drink American beer when I'm there, like Budweiser, Coors. I'm not trying to like shit on America or anything. I love where I'm from. I'm just keeping it real. But Coors Light and Bud Light, I don't really do those. So I like Red Stripe, which is Jamaican actually. Do they drink Red Stripe out here?
Yeah. John Robinson bought it when I was with him like 2 days ago. I've seen it for the first time.
John Robinson.
Shout out to John Robinson. His new album with Lewis Parker, International Summer, is out now, featuring your boy.
That's right. So yeah, but is there like, do you have any hobbies or something you do like to get you off all that?
I like to watch a lot of movies. I like to read books when I have time, but I actually haven't.
What's the last book you read?
The last book I read was probably and then there was silence. I can honestly I remember now. It's the autobiography of Anthony Kiedis. It's called Scar Tissue.
Oh, all right.
You know Anthony Kiedis?
Yeah, Anthony Kiedis, Red Chili Peppers.
Right. I read his biography. Dope, very dope reading.
Right. Oh, there's a question from the cameraman.
Yeah. What can you tell us about the end of the week movement? How you got involved with it, and what kind of what did you get out of it, and what did they get out of you? You know what I'm saying?
By the way, the cameraman is working for end of the week. Just kidding.
When I first started to come up in New York, there were only so many consistent hip-hop open mics. There was like New Eurekan and End of the Week, which to me have been the two biggest ones for a lot of years. So when I was coming up, not so much in recent 2 or 3 years, but when I was coming up maybe like in 2004, 2005, 2006, End of the Week was a what's the word? A building block of I want to say stable, but that's not the word. And that's a rock for New York, hip hop New York. End of the Week was a place where young upcoming MCs could always go and try out their skills on the mic, and it was always love. You can go there to this point. It's always on Sundays. You can go there this Sunday, I'm sure right now, and you'll see some new talent there. It's in New York. I'm pretty sure they still hold it at Pyramid. If my memory is that good, it's 101 Avenue A. But yeah, those brothers, it did a lot for me because it's a good place to test out your new lyrics. And New York is definitely a tough crowd. So if you can go to New York and make it, you can make it maybe anywhere. But you know what I'm saying? End of the Week, so I was going there for a while. I got in a competition and I lost it. And for those who don't know, they do the freestyle competition, which is... They have 4 rounds, and they'll have like a round where you have to freestyle over a beat where it's changing really fast, or you have to go in a bag and rap about what's in the bag. You have to you have an acapella round where you just kick your acapella verse, and you have a round where you got to go 4 bars back and forth with the other contestants. So I won that in 2007, and because I won that, a guy actually saw me there, and I got on TV to start to do the intro for this commercial. They don't play it anymore, but I won it April 2007, And winning that battle, since it's so legendary, the end of the week was like a stamp of approval for me for underground hip hop. For the rest of my life, I can say I won EOW, and you know, people who know about EOW will definitely have to look at you in a certain different way. Like, yo, you have to know what you're doing to win that shit. So, big shout out to EOW, Big Zoo, vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to all of them.
So, do you still freestyle from time to time, or is it just?
Yeah, and when you freestyle, I find it helps your writing. You know, when you're able to think of sporadic thoughts, it definitely helps. Right, just like reading books or absorbing any type of information, it builds your craft when you freestyle, same way like it does when you read books.
All right, so I would like to fade out with a freestyle.
All right, we can fade out with a freestyle. Can I do a written freestyle?
Just do what you feel like.
All right, cool.
It's gonna have kicks in it.
Alright, they barely speak in English, but say I ripped it in check tone. To show the pieces, so against me, you dead wrong. Bring your best song, you still get slept on. When you rap, your tracks be softer than Zac Efron. Your whole style is coolo. I make my fans scream like the soccer announcers on Telemundo. You know my new flow, kick it like judo. Have you stuck like underwear in the ass of a sumo. You fruit, yo, I be burning the spinach. And my bud be purple and hairy like Grimace. I kill this, but you ain't really a true thug. You just bite like the vampires on True Blood. So they asking me to kick a rhyme cause you got less lines than Great Adventure in the wintertime. And so you needed me to kick it fine, but then you looking at me like an alien from District 9. Cause my flow feel better than getting new cheeks. I went to Sweden and recorded the album in 2 weeks. My flow is tighter than a car with only 2 seats. So I lit them up when Frank and Jay threw me a few beats. Writing on my iPhone thinking brothers are whack. And I wish they could download an app to learn how to rap. I stay over your head like a shower cap. You claim tough, but like Cringer, you're a coward cat. Y'all selling it, but I ain't buying it. Without a scratch, I emerged from the lion's pit. Rap dudes are midgets that be sucking on a giant's dick. Me, I obliged when Shorty asked me to sign her tit. You're a Motel 6, I'm a Hilton. Your girl's Rosie O'Donnell, the mine's Carrie Hilson. That's why I walk around this bitch like Cy King, and all my bars are cracking like dry skin. Any MC wanna test, I give him licks. Cymarshall Law in Germany, repping for kicks like that. Another day, another interview, and they always asking me, like one of the first three questions, what does your name mean? Where does it come from? Cymar's original. When I was born and my soul came back again, came home from the hospital and didn't have a name. Nothing fit, there was never none.